Hey, my name is Josue from Big Bear Vapor, and in this video I want to show you guys what you can do if you ever have this problem. You're vaping and all of a sudden you get a signal that says no atomizer found. Depending on the particular vape that you have, you might get a slightly different message. You might say something like atomizer or atomizer short, or it could say something like no coil, which is a message that you get on the Alien, for example. So I'm going to show you 3 steps that are going to help about 90% of you with your atomizer short or atomizer not found problems. If these 3 steps don't work for you, then there might be some, unfortunately, more complicated problems that you might have to deal with, but we can talk about those at the end of the video as well. I'm going to be working with the Wismec Predator mod, as well as the SMOK Alien 220. In this particular video, I'm going to be working with the Cleito120 tank, as well as the SMOK TFV8 and the new SMOK TFV12 Cloud Beast King tank. So the first thing I always do whenever I get one of these messages from my mod that says that there's some sort of atomizer problem is first I'll always just take my tank off the mod. Specifically, you're going to be looking for any signs of dirt or grime in the actual threading of your tank or in the threading of your 510 pin on your mod. First thing I always do is take those apart. Unless they are 100% squeaky clean, I always do my best to just kind of use a Q-tip to clean out those pins. If you have a paper towel and nothing else, that works fine. Or if you have access to it, an alcohol swab is like the best thing you can use, just to make sure you don't have any problems with the connection points in your pins, because that would obviously be the easiest. So after you clean those out real good, let them dry, put your tank back on your mod, and then check to see if that's resolved the problem. In the event that that does not solve your problem, then you're going to have to go to our second step, which is that you're going to take your tank back off of your mod, and now you're going to open up your tank. Obviously, this might be a bit of a problem if you have juice in it, so you might have to sacrifice juice, you might have to pour juice back into a bottle. Not the end of the world. So take your tank apart so you have direct access to the coil. All you're going to do is take your coil off, and now you're going to be looking inside of your tank's chamber where that coil sits. And you're going to be inspecting and cleaning that area to make sure that the coil has a clean, flush connection with the 510 pin inside of that tank. As much as possible, fight the temptation to put juice immediately back in your tank after step 2. Make sure you have an operating machine first. If that's resolved the problem, then you're good to go. The third step is inspecting or changing the coil. If you can, sometimes you can physically see something a bit strange with the coil that you might be able to fix, but more often than not, it's always going to be easier to just put a new coil in. So if the new coil works, then there you are. 3 steps to solve the problem of atomizer short. If for some reason all of these 3 steps do not solve your problem, then you either have a problem with the machining of your tank, or maybe you dropped it and something went wrong with it, or the same thing can be true for your mod. Maybe there's something going on with your mod. Simple way to check to see where the problem might be is to put your tank on a different mod if possible, see if that fires and works. Put a different tank or top on your mod to see if that mod is firing on a different tank, and then at least you'll be able to isolate the problem. So that's probably going to solve the problem for like 90% of you. Hopefully this video was helpful one way or the other. If you're ever in Surrey, BC, Canada, always feel free to check us out at Big Bear Vapor.